Hey guys, Lost here. Time for me to review my top 5 picks for the Arma 3 mods of April. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so let me start off by saying that these mods, like most of the other mods I download and review, are not necessarily brand new for the month. They are or have been updated, and that's why I'm kind of bringing them to light. So it's not like I'm just reviewing totally old mods or just reviewing, new mods every month. I just wanted to say that. Anyway, let's start off with a mod called the 2035 Russian Forces. This is a gear and unit mod that brings the Russian forces more of the future rather than, present day into Arma 3. So if you were to play with the Russian forces or against them using the vanilla Arma 3 kind of 2035 setting in the future sort of, you'd pick this mod. I mean, this is the Russian forces set slightly more in the future. Their camos are different, yet they still maintain the Russian feel. It's pretty straightforward. I cover a lot of militaries and armies throughout a lot of the world and time periods, and so this is just another one adding to it, I suppose. This type of camo is a camo I haven't really seen a lot of just in general in Arma. It's kind of a mixed up little thing they have going on for that pattern. The AKs and the weapons are, they're more enhanced, they're more futuristic to kind of make it more sleek, not as dirty, not as old looking, which I think looks pretty cool. I do like the look of this style. It's not really a style you could see a lot of in Arma, so I think it's pretty cool. Thanks to the new editor in Arma 3, I can now test these things out much easier in combat to really get a feel of what it brings to the table. This mod offers new things in all of the categories, with the vehicles, the weapons, the uniforms, the vests, backpacks, camouflages for your uniforms and your guns as well. It's a really cool thing that a lot of gear mods have to offer in general, so I'm just going to say it's pretty straightforward. It adds in new things to Arma. Check it out. Pretty cool. If you didn't recognize the map I was just showing off right there with those Russian forces, that is a map that is now number 4 in our countdown, and that is Jolla by Icebreaker. Icebreaker is, I suppose, a group of map makers that has made some maps that I reviewed last month. Let me just say that these maps are pretty dang cool. There's a lot of detail in them, and this one is no exception. The map Isla Jolla is a 100 square kilometer African island divided into 2 countries, Malaysia to the north and Afrin to the south. A border runs along the river between 2 countries. This is a lot like the map Isla Abramia, which I did review last month, which is probably the reason why I liked it so much. I like that one and I like this one. This map is sort of a semi-arid terrain with some palm trees. It's kind of tropical. It is in Africa, so you would expect it to be kind of dry, but there are rivers running through it, which makes it more tropical with palm trees, more of a slightly more lush in areas. It is now version 3.5, by the way. This is not a new map. It came out some time ago, but I did enjoy it, and I really, really love the attention to detail and just the cityscapes and the expanses that this really shows off really, really well. I kind of mentioned this before in my other mod review video, and that is, to me it seems like Arma 3 has kind of hit this new threshold, I suppose, in modding. Like Arma 2, it's starting to become a much more moddable game. It is easier to mod, and the mods are looking and working better, and maps like this are really exemplify that to me. As you can see right here, I am just doing a quick sniper job on these Russian forces down below that I set up on this map on one of the many hills that this map has to offer. It is 100 square kilometers, like I said before, and that is what really struck me was the size. With all of the hills and different terrains on this map, it is just quite a sizable map in the first place, which, again, really caught my attention. I highly recommend going out and checking out Icebreaker's Island map pack, I believe it is, or at least a set of islands that he has released or that group has released. The maps are great looking, they're beautiful, and I really love them. I definitely recommend going to check those out. So now to number 3, we have another faction mod, and that is the FFA mod, or the Spanish Army mod. Like I said in the first mod in this countdown, I review a lot of different military armies, branches, and just countries around the world. And this, again, is no exception. I've reviewed things from Britain, Europe, Japan, the United States, and Russia. Here is now the Spanish military. If you are going to download this mod, it is almost 1 gigabyte actually, and it is quite a sizable mod, and I can see why, because there's a lot that this mod has to offer. It adds in new things to all of the categories, from the launchers, rifles, handguns, uniforms, vests, backpacks, helmets, to the cars, planes, trucks, vehicles, boats, helicopters, just everything. It adds in quite a bit of stuff, and I was actually surprised when I was checking this out. Now, I know I said I liked the Russian camouflage, and I was kind of lying. I mean, it was alright, it's cool, don't get me wrong, it's a cool mod. But I do like this camouflage and the way this gear looks especially. I kind of like the 2035 Russian forces mostly because it was different, but I like this one because it looks more like the United States military, more of the modern day soldier rather than kind of this more sleek, futuristic looking type look. Now when it comes to the weapons, my favorite looking weapon is the accuracy, which is right there on his back right there. That's what the weapon's called. It's called the accuracy. I don't really know why that's all it's called. You know, I could give it a better name. But honestly, does the weapon name matter? Pfft, no. Now, of course, it gives you all these different vehicles and all the different categories, including this crate, which is under the mortar category. It is categorized as a, what's it called? A ground control station, that's what it is. Although I'm not exactly sure why. Either way, it's great to see all these different styles from these militaries all around the world. Like I said before, this mod has quite a bit to offer, and I was surprised to see how much content was actually in this mod. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. That ship right there, you can load trucks onto and drive it around and transport them, which is not something I've actually ever seen in Arma before. I don't know how many people actually go out and download the mods that I review. I hope some of you do. I do always put the links in the description, or I try to. They're not always working, but I do try to offer links so everybody can download them. Finishing up with this mod, here I'm running by basically all of the units that this mod has to offer. Soldier-wise, they do offer more, but there's all the trucks and tanks and planes and vehicles, as well as everything else. Definitely go download a mod if you're looking for a new nation, country, / military, whatever, to go play as. We are making our way down to number 2, and that is a map mod called Sugar Lake. This is a 67 square kilometer map that is an industrial river delta. And I was actually going through my mods, making sure I had all the mods I was going to review for this month, and I realized, wow, I only have 4 mods. What am I missing? And that was, I forgot to take a look at this, and I'm glad I remembered. I know I've been reviewing a lot of map mods lately, and I try to space it out, but maps are, and just the terrain and everything is a huge part of Arma, so of course I have to review them if I think it's pretty dang cool. Like Sugar Lake. I almost want to say it's like you're in the bayou on this map, except you're not down south. You're definitely up on a more northern part of, I don't know, the world. This map is one gigantic, I want to say, ocean or perhaps lake, with a lot of streams and rivers running through, as well as a lot of industry and, you know, houses with roads and rivers that run straight through it and cut all around. That, to be honest, something about it just really catches me and I think is super, super cool. Back when I was actively part of a milsim in Arma 3, you know, every few weeks we would go around and we would change where we were doing our campaigns. So for that, you know, good few months, there were always like these new lands, these new areas that I would explore in Arma that just really I thought was just the greatest thing. And going back and really going to all these just new maps that I've never seen before really brings back a lot of memories of going to these places that are completely new to me, and just seeing all these new things, even though it's just in a video game. It really brings back a lot of fun that I've had before. It's actually a really nice, homely place, I suppose you could say. I don't even know, is homely a word? I think so. That's a fast food joint right there. You know, a lot of little buildings kind of scattered throughout this semi-tropical almost town slash area that I really enjoy. It caught my attention that it's just not these new scenarios and settings that I have not really seen done before, and this is one of those that are new to me, that I have not seen, and it's great. It really is. Now it's getting a little long, so let's keep on going to number 1. So we're at number 1 now, and this one's kind of special because I don't usually do these, and that is a co-op slash single player mission that is on the Steam Workshop. It's ranked 5 stars. The creator is Phantom, aka Sig, whose maps I have reviewed before and missions I have reviewed. Very seldom do I ever do missions, and again, very seldom do I ever actually enjoy the ones that I play. And this is really definitely one that caught my attention, that I, for the first time, started playing it. I was like, wow, I want to keep playing this. If I just died, I want to go back and I want to keep playing. I want to figure out how this ends. So let me kind of tell you about it. If you didn't know already from the big, loading intro, this is kind of a counter-terrorism setting mission. You and 3 other FBI agents have to go into a town to rescue hostages, as well as defuse bombs and kill any terrorists that are inside. It's one of the largest terrorist attacks that have happened since 9/11 that has just shaken the country. There's a lot of objectives. If you've ever played any of the any of the missions that he has done before, they're not ones that are, super close together necessarily. There's usually a lot of running you have to do. But this one, it is much closer together, yet it is still slow enough pace to where I can really get a feel for it and see what's going on. I really enjoyed this mission. So this kind of brings me to another point. If anybody wants to host this mission, I would be super excited to actually get together with a group of people and play this tactically like it's supposed to be played, rather than just with, AI players. I mean, sure, it's fun, and I had a lot of fun playing this. Like, this is just super cool. There's also kind of a darker side to it, which a lot of his missions have. It's been a while since I've been able to play tactically with a bunch of other people, or a group of other people, so I don't really have time to host any servers by myself. So if anybody wants to go out there and host it, please, by all means, send me a message. I'd love to get in on it. This mission's called Terrorist. There will be links to the other mods as well as this one in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this month's mod review. I know this was kind of long. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.